Okay, we're back in Springville, and as promised, I have tried building the industrial area. This is how it started. That didn't go so good, but I managed to fix my mess ups or my errors. And here we can see that I am starting to build what is the lower level of this industrial area because it's quite slopey and quite steep here. So I figured out I would not just flatten everything and then have a big cliff above the industrial area. That seemed too scary and not too realistic. So I decided I will make this in layers and I will try to work with some terraforming and adjustment of the terrain around where the industrial area is. And I will also just not bother to think that this has to look very pretty. It just has to be functional for the industries that want to move into this area. And they do not have a choice. They will have to move here eventually. So I can clear up the urban area and also make more residential areas in the other area where I probably have very much ground pollution right now. So that will be an area that will be in the beginning. I probably will place down offices and commercial areas in that area. And eventually, maybe there will be some high rise buildings, but it will take some time, I think, to clear off the ground pollution that has been caused in that area. And trying to also use the softening tool so that the roads won't just hang in the air or be down in slopes, but it's not always working. And I'm also trying to make sure that the roads seem to be working fine without being too bendy, crookedy, edgy. And I think I actually did quite a good job with this road going down to the industrial area. That will be a road that is used a lot, I think, because it is one of the only road that I plan on having down to this area. So it's important that that one is well functioning. And on the level above the lower level or the lowest level, I was thinking maybe I should put down some of these stone areas, the specialized industry where you mine stones, because in the other industrial area, I do have some of these stone mining places, and I want to get rid of those too. So I will have to have somewhere to mine stone because we are actually using quite a lot of stone in this city. And also, I was thinking that on the top by the foot of the mountain, I will place the power station, the gas power station, and I will also do some forest work around there with the specialized industry that chop down the logs and produces wood, and eventually maybe we can get the paper factory. I remember once I played with a lot of wood making in the or wood chopping in the game, and I received the paper factory, and that was quite good for the economy, I think, if I remember correctly. So that's the plan I'm setting out to do now, and also making the layers of where there is flat terrain to do some industry and not making just a large hub of industry in one area, because this part of the map is quite beautiful with the nature around. So even though I'm placing down a lot of factories, which will cause a lot of pollution, I still want to maintain some of the beauty with the area. And also later on, I will put down the boating, the shipyard. Is that what it's called? No, it's not a shipyard. Where the boats come to pick up the goods that we are producing in the factories and transport them to the other cities around the world. But looking at it now that it's almost or it's coming along. It's not finished, but I think this looks good. And I also moved the gas power plant and the incinerator plant and the landfill so that the area where the industry used to be is now completely empty of the big polluting stuff and smelly stuff. So, but there is still a lot of pollution, ground pollution in that area, and I still have to keep some of the industry there just so that that the city isn't lacking the workplaces and losing money because I don't have enough industry in my city. But also thinking about the logistics of this area and the infrastructure, trying to make more roads so that they can get in and out of this area. Because, as I said, this will be quite a trafficy area where there are lots of things happening, being transported in and out of the area for the industry to work as it should, and that that is what I'm trying to do. And I was also thinking that although there is a lot of ground pollution in the area of the old industry area, I don't know if that makes sense. I think it did. I will in the other side, on the other side, not where the urban area is, but the other side, I will try to make a connection to this area by going below the highway, trying that. I never tried that before, so that will be quite interesting. But that was the solution I figured out while I was pondering about whether I should continue this Springville and try to tackle the issues of this map. Although it's a beautiful map, I think it's quite hard playing. It's quite a hard map to be playing around and trying to figure out how to put down things. So I would make a low residential area with some mix, and try to connect that area also to the industrial area in some way below the highway. But it's quite a large change again to the city because I did a change before, but then I didn't move the industrial area that far as I wasn't able to get the land tiles that I wanted yet in the game. So it is quite a big move, and I'm kind of nervous. I don't know how it will affect the city, both economical and with the people in the city living quite far from the industrial area right now. So I think also making this area where I will have from the road going under the highway and up to the area where there used to be industry. I want to make a residential area there and maybe make quite a large one with the gritty patterns and make another community almost outside of the other community that is on the other side of the river or the lake, and have people from that area do most of the work in the industrial area and then focus the offices and stuff in the urban area of the city, which now has gotten a name, but I don't really. It's Spring Center, I think it's called the district around the high rise buildings. But I have to confess, I have said it so many times. My road building skills are they're not good, and I really I look at a lot of videos on YouTube of creators that are they're so good at both terraforming and road building. So I really tried in this part, or I really tried here to just get the roads to look good because I think that is something that will be helping me not receive the many traffic jam signs that I have received in other times when I have played this game. So like here, I'm going in and trying to make this road just fit together more seamlessly than it did when I first laid it down, and actually ending up having to do both the terraforming and the placement of road segments a few times before I finally get the solution I want to. And I know that a lot of my terraforming in this area, I need to smoothen out some of it, but some of it, I think also the raw edges of the cliffs makes it look like an area that is an industrial area, which previously was a beautiful, lush area down by the water. And I think that I know we need industry in both the game and in real life, but I don't like the looks and impact it makes to the nature. So I think it's nice when you can see that okay, previously there was something here that was beautiful, but now there is something here that isn't that beautiful, but it will help us produce stuff we might need or might not need. But really, I don't know what is with me and the roads because I keep trying and trying and trying, and I do use earlier I said that I would not be using the continuous and the complex curve, but I still end up using it sometimes. But straight roads are more of my thing, I think, but because eventually this one clicked together quite nicely, and I think it will be a kind of nice entrance to the industrial area from the low residential area that I will build up later. But the terraforming tool, I really struggle with that one. I wonder if other players that are better at this than I am, if they actually use some kind of mod or something that tells them anything smart about how to terraform the landscape, because I really don't. Either my hands are just too shaky and I'm too old. I don't think I'm too old. I don't want to be too old. I'm 40 years, so I'm not too old. But I don't really get it. Why can't I do the terraforming? As you saw in the beginning of the video, I'm terrible at it. It's ridiculous how terrible I am with the terraforming, actually. So I will in no way be offended if somebody comments below and says your terraforming skills are terrible. Because yeah, it's true. I am. I'm not good at it, but maybe I will be better at it, or maybe I will just keep having my raw edges around and above and besides my houses and everything. And that is also quite fine with me if that is the case, that I will never, ever, ever be able to be good at terraforming. But it brings me very much joy when I'm able to do some terraforming and place some roads that will look kind of okay in the end. And placing down some parking lots so people can park their cars and not park their cars alongside the road. And as we have built up this industrial area, the demand for some offices has uh, come up. And as we, in the last episode, I think we unlocked the high density offices, we will be able to put down some of them in the area where the ground pollution is high, because they don't care. The workers can just be working in areas where the ground is really polluted. And that is something that will help me with the connection between that area and the new lower density area. I think it will make a nice transition if I can just build it up to be a high area with the offices rising high and the high commercial or the high density commercial area, and then go down again with the medium density, the combined commercial and residential density, blah, areas, and then the low residential area over there. I think that will be quite good as a way to continue this city. And nobody wants to live there, so I will have to fill up the areas around with with residential buildings, and the area beside there is no problem for people build to be living there. So I guess my plan of making that one area where a lot of people is living, I think that one is going to be very well or very good. And again, me and the grids, I don't like them, but sometimes you need them. And the grid making road, or the road that automatically puts down grids, I tried using that one here. Looks kind of messy, and I didn't quite know how to use that one because I never use it. I just make my own grids, but it felt like a easy solution to placing down lots of houses. And I also tried living on the wild side again and just plopping down some of the or filling out some of the zoning areas with the residential buildings just to see if they still continue building big, and they do. But I just let them do it. I went really wild at that one because maybe they can afford it. I don't know. And also trying to make a mix of the medium density residential buildings. Wow, that's a word I struggle to say, or a sentence, or a description. But also making the higher apartment buildings and the row houses and the combined residential and commercial area. Just because I think that if you have a high rise area, it should be connected by some lower but not low density buildings, just so you get kind of a pyramid by going up and going down and going up and going down. Yeah, so that's me explaining my philosophy behind building. And yeah, that's nice to have said. It's very important that you all know that, I think, or not. But now it's out there. But at least I'm satisfied with the way I'm building. And in the area where we put down the high rise, high demand office buildings, they have now been built up. I'm playing at a high game speed, so the building is going quite fast. And those look fantastic, I would say. I hope those won't get abandoned, but maybe they will because there isn't. I don't know if the office building that often get abandoned like the commercial and the residential buildings, but those are beautiful, I would say. But slowly, this area is also starting to look very nice. It's what I want. It's like this, but and I know that there is still a bit of demand for the offices, but I was thinking that maybe some of the offices should be located in the industrial area also, because I guess some of the offices will do office work for some of the industries, or they will do office work connected to some of the industry. So I will plot down some of them in the industrial area also, just to have the variety in that area. And maybe I will also put down some commercial buildings in that area. When I think of commercial areas, I think of stores, but it's not just stores being in the commercial area or commercial zones. Or I guess it is stores, but stores selling other stuff than clothes and groceries. Yeah. Anyways, before I get further into that, the oil industry area is also looking quite good, I would say. We are getting some oil up off the ground, and that's good for our economy. And I also see that the area in the old part of town is getting it's getting neglected. So some of the buildings were just, they had fallen apart. So placing down some more cars for the park maintenance, as there was a park, I think, that was also crushed to the ground. And also placing down, I think I will eventually place down more of the road maintenance guys that keep the roads up and running so they don't deteriorate as much as they do when a lot of cars are driving on them. I think that will be something I will do eventually. But looking around, I saw that there were a lot of fires. We have a lot of fires in our town. I keep coming back to the fires, but in the newly placed industrial area, there were a lot of fires, and we unlocked the large fire station, or not the large fire station, but the fire station. And I thought maybe I'd just place one down in connection to the industrial area, just because I think a lot of the industries will burn. And I guess it's nice to have fire engines close by them, uh, just for the speed of the fire engines reaching the fires. But I guess those buildings lighting up before I place down, they will just burn down. But adding also some extensions to the fire station, as I'm in the greens with the money. Both the training facility, the disaster control, and also the helicopter, because that will be nice to have, and also some extra vehicles to travel out to the many fires we have in this town. So moving the industrial area is a good solution, and I think I'm 90% sure that this is where it will continue to grow and that I won't be moving it again, I think. And that's why I can, with confidence, just put down more of the stuff that is needed in this area. And it's nice to see that the helicopter actually went out to those fires, although they weren't able to save the buildings. At least now we can get to the fires faster than before. And I also decided to spend some of the 14 development points on something. I know that eventually I will look into the Hoover Dam, or what it's called, the electricity that is made by the water, but not at this point because I'm not there yet. But I spent some money on the industrial waste place because I will be using that one, and also a hospital, as we have reached a certain number of the population, and I think now is the time that we can place them down. But what I didn't think about is that the prices for the new buildings that I have unlocked now, they are quite high. And although I say we're in a good economic place, we are going up with the economics, but we have spent a lot of money by moving around and changing and adding additions to other places. So I'm not able at this point to place down any of the new things I unlocked with my development points. But yeah, we have done a lot of changes and moving around an almost entire industrial area today. And I would like to say that I'm happy with the changes. I think that I'm 90% sure that this is how I want the placement of the industrial area to be as the city continues to grow. I will have to add to it and make it bigger, and also remove the other industrial area that is up in the urban area. But mostly I'm happy that my motivation is kind of back to playing City Skylines, because I was kind of demotivated for a while doing the game. I have another series of Ostriv playing just to get some other things to my mind instead of worrying about the roads and the terraforming in this city. So I guess in a few days there will be a new episode of Springville up and running, or there will be another episode. If that is the last episode, I don't know. But until then, I would like to thank you for watching. If you push the like button, and please subscribe. And also comment below if you have anything you want to say to me. And I hope that you are having a good day, and I will see you again later. Bye.